Hey everybody, welcome to the If I Had More Time podcast. This is Eric Geiger, and I have my wife Kay with me.
Hi.
And we have Kim and Jared Kirkwood with us.
Excited to be here.
Yay.
This is Kim's first podcast, so this
My
is a big
first-
moment for us.
She's going to be amazing.
Premiere.
Her debut.
I will say, though, that when we got this email to be invited with you guys on this podcast, I said, Jared, did you see which topic we're on? And he's like, no. And I said, they chose us for Looks Are Fleeting.
Yeah.
So what's up with that?
What's
I
this
mean,
all about?
Because that's
He
obviously
showed-
not true for
He
the two
showed
of
our
you.
wedding picture
You
a
guys
few
are
months
younger
ago.
than us.
And so maybe you saw that and thought, like, yeah, they're
Well,
the best ones
No.
for Looks
They've
Are
definitely
Fleeting.
drifted the
Yeah.
furthest.
Everybody thinks you guys look amazing.
Whatever.
I mean, you're like
so
a
bad.
GQ couple.
Oh,
We're
please.
gonna hold on to that pain for a while.
So we had week one. We had Doug and Kathy Fields. Last week was Kay and I. Last week, Kay and I talked to all the young adults.
Yeah, that was
we
so
did, We did a
fun.
live
The
recording.
live one,
It
yeah.
was really fun.
This week, you guys, and so I want you to know who Jared is. Jared is the lead pastor at Mariners Irvine, but also the executive pastor of ministries, really influencing all of Mariners Church.
Yeah.
And Kim, I mean, there's a lot of different things that you do in terms of serving the church. I know you help out with weddings a lot, which is, I mean, that's why we have you here.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
We're talking
pro-
about weddings.
all-
We want to get remarried.
All of your skills.
We could plan
as a-
you guys.
as a
We could do a,
wedding
gonna do a
nice
vow renewal right
renewal.
here.
Oh, this could be great.
You also lead a group of high school girls.
Yep.
And so thanks so much for how you serve our church as
Yep.
well.
Yeah.
I know people see Jared a lot, but you do a ton.
With our
serving people.
pastors' wives as well.
That's right.
Like, she's like the reason that our pastors' wives functions.
Yeah.
I mean, I show up, but Kim does all the planning.
That's right. You guys together, all of the wives of pastors in our church, they get together with
Yeah.
you
Once a month.
Once a month.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Kim makes sure we have food and dessert and sends out the invitations. It's true. She's really, I couldn't do it without her. It's honest.
There's a lot of hospitality in action.
Yep.
So you just hit
Yeah.
20 years of marriage.
We did.
How long ago was that?
July 7th.
Yep.
Okay. So and just like us, you were married young, actually older than us even.
Yeah, we were
Ancient.
very wise and old compared to your guys.
Yes.
We were 22 when we
Yeah.
got married. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we'd
went-
lived half a life by then.
We just graduated college.
Yeah, we were that couple. Right? We met in college. We kind of
Here at Vanguard.
Yep, at Vanguard. So we met each other freshman year, but we started dating our sophomore year, and then engaged in the fall of our senior year, and then married right afterwards.
Ring by spring, they say.
Ring.
We did better. We did ring by fall of the senior year.
Wow.
You did better. You were ahead of the game.
You guys have more
Yeah.
patience than
Work hard,
than I did. Yeah.
get ahead, have a vision for your future. We had it. We figured it out.
And then at that point, did you already become on staff at Mariners?
Yeah. So we got engaged in October of 2004. I joined staff January of 05. We graduated May of 05, and then we were married in July of 05.
Okay, so your whole married life, you've been a pastor at Mariners.
That is true.
Oh, I love
That's
that
really
so
special.
much.
That's really special. And one of the things I love about your tenure here is that you were leading weddings and counseling for junior high kids you had who are
Oh,
now
it's so true.
who are now getting married.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, we run into students all the time where they were junior high or high school students in our ministry, and now we're meeting their babies. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah,
like such
special.
a wild thing. Girls that were in your life group,
Yep.
guys that were in mine. It's really, really fun. It's one of the greatest blessings of longevity in one place.
And seeing
Definitely.
our kids, like being in youth ministry,
yeah.
having been there, and then now seeing our kids, like Asher's a freshman, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like having had, worked in here and volunteered in here, and now our son's in here. It's like
Yeah.
surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, even just last night, I did a parent gathering. I was open house for high school students, high school parents, and I just was like, man, I got to be a youth pastor here.
Yeah.
I was junior high pastor when Asher was born, high school pastor when Ellie was born, and now Asher's a freshman in high school, and so here we are as these parents of high school
Yeah.
students. This is crazy.
But like us, both of you still have a passion for youth ministry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like we haven't been
I
able to
know.
get away from it.
I
we
still-
still love
Yeah.
investing in teenagers and young adults.
They're my favorite
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
They're
It
my
is. It's
favorite.
really fun.
Hence why I just got back into it.
I know.
Yeah.
So
Can't
glad you
stay
did.
away. Can't stay away. All right, so we looked at Proverbs 31 this weekend, and sometimes people have framed that passage as only about the woman, and I have said before, I think it can sometimes be used as almost this impossible standard
Definitely.
and so I did not want to approach it that way. I'm not saying that teaching Proverbs 31 is from just the woman's perspective is at all a bad thing. I just want to be cautious we don't forget that the guy's in the passage as well, and that the same responsibilities of caring about your character and having compassion for other people, that is on the man, not only on the woman. But question: what truth from Proverbs 31 is most real to you that we talked about this weekend? You know, when you think about the foundation for your marriage, what stood out from that passage?
Yeah, I mean, I do love the framing that you brought to that. We do often hear the Proverbs 31 woman, like we always hear that framing, but to find the list of 4 things and how there are direct verses for each of those, that was a new teaching for me. Just the way that you framed it and got to hear that, it was exciting. And even as I was sitting next to my wife as we were listening to your message, just thinking, man, what was it kind of that initially drew us to each other, and were there any of those things down in those early days, right? I knew that from my own background. I knew that I wanted to be with somebody that came from a family of faith. My own life, church was relatively new. Even when I met Kim, I had only become a Christian. I told you a bit of the history of starting here. What I didn't tell you was only 1 year prior to college is when I gave my life to Jesus. I know, Eric, you and I were both 18 years old when we became Christians. And so I knew that I needed somebody that had a legacy of faith, that came from a family and a lineage of which going to church and being a part of God's family was going to be important. And there was wisdom that Kim and her family had that I had no knowledge of.
Why did you think that was going to be so important? Like, what was that you were like, I'm going to need that? That's so wise of you to know that, but what was it that you thought, I'm going to need that?
Yeah, I mean, I knew with pretty absolute certainty that I was going to screw it up. So there was just a part of me that went, I'd better find somebody that has been in the stream for a lot longer than me, and it came second nature. And that's exactly what
Do you feel like just because you hadn't seen like good examples and models kind of thing, and you wanted that? Yeah.
In ministry or just in like the faith in general?
In honestly,
marriage,
relationships.
Yeah.
When you think about big picture of relationships, I was not good at it, was not practiced at it, and came from a family where I have the world's greatest mom. I mean, every virtue you can think about a person that you want to be, my mom has that. Like she's kind and she's generous, she's forgiving, she's compassionate and caring. I mean, she's all of those things. But I also came from a family that didn't have a picture of long-lasting marriages, right? And so meeting Kim and seeing her parents, there was something that I was really drawn to, because I knew that's what I wanted for my future.
That's great, man.
Was what they
that's
had already.
That's great to long for
really
that.
beautiful,
especially at a young age. You know, to long for that. It's great.
But what else he's not sharing is that even though I grew up in a great Christian home, my dad was a pastor, so I grew up as a pastor's kid. But when Jared met me, I was just coming out of a damaged relationship, so I didn't feel worthy to like date him. And so all these characteristics, like I wanted that, but I didn't feel worthy of it. You know. So like I've got this great family, and he's got, he's so great looking and everything, but looks are fleeting. And that wasn't what attracted me right away. It was his patience, how long he waited for me to come around. And
because he kept pursuing you.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Listen, young men, don't give up. Keep pursuing.
Yeah. So
not in a creepy way though. It wasn't creepy.
No.
It was honorable.
Maybe a little bit.
Very honorable.
But there was something about the season that you were in, coming out of a season of pain. For you, it was so abnormal. For me, I'm like, oh, I know that. Like, I understand what that pain and the living with the ramifications of your decisions. Like, I knew that life.
Wow.
And so there was just something about watching the way you and your family were walking through that I went, oh, that's new. The way that you guys partnered together, the kind of love, grace, compassion that I saw from your parents, and the way that you rebounded so quickly right back into your second nature being God is the one who loves and forgives. And like, that's the quality that I knew. I think I might need that later in life.
I don't think I've known you guys for a long time, but I don't think I've heard this exact thing, and I think it's so beautiful, because we were joking with you guys before we started. Did you guys have an arranged marriage? We're just kind of messing around. But the truth of the matter is, Jared, the beauty of an arranged marriage is like the family being apart.
That's right.
And that's exactly what you're articulating. Like, you're articulating that you looked at, not only did you
were attracted to her family.
which I think is so amazing
Yeah.
to say that because and I know you guys well, so I know like you have a really healthy family dynamic, meaning
great.
you guys go on trips and you have your whole family
We
there
do.
and your mom there, and everybody gets along and loves each other. There is something to be said for that, and now it's making sense to me because you not only loved Kim and who she was, but you loved what her family had given to her.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is so cool.
We all know this, but I've been thinking about it recently as I've been preparing some of these things for the parenting stuff that we're doing around here. It's such a wild thing when you think about you have a family that you come from, and then you marry somebody who comes from a different family, preferably, right? And when
Yeah, I
you
mean,
merge
mostly.
those families together, something new is created.
Yeah.
So there is what you bring into it, and you do have an extended family that is going to be a part of holidays and vacations and whatever else. They're all going to have opinions about what you name your children and where we go on vacation. But what you build is actually new. It is a new thing, and you get to decide what will we bring from our backgrounds into this, and what will we establish that will be new for us.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Well, on those
good.
those foundations that we talked about, like the bricks, not the straw and the sticks. We want bricks. We want to be like,
Sorry,
we want to be like the
babe.
third pig.
You're like looking at me. I'm not helping
I
you out.
couldn't
All I'm
remember.
thinking about is that the piggies don't die.
They did. They actually they die.
They
But
definitely don't die.
which have
Wait,
helped
do
you?
they die?
No, that's only in New Orleans do they die.
actually-
In the
Really?
rest of the world, they live.
Hold on, this is really important.
It's not true. I do. I know that. I know that's what you believe, baby. But I did an Instagram poll one time because
Of course you did.
only because I used it in a sermon.
I don't remember this.
I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago.
And what did you
I
find out?
used that illustration before. It was about half and half. Like half of the people who responded, they heard the story like I heard the story, which is the pig dies each time.
So the wolf eats 2 pigs?
yeah, yeah.
This is Hungry Like a Wolf. You've
Yeah,
heard the song.
yeah.
I mean, I have, but
And then, but in your story, it's yours is a kind, gentler version.
and
There's
just to
always
finish,
dark side of fairy
my
tales.
story, when he comes to the third pig's house, he really wants to get in, but he can't because the foundation's so strong. Just to go with your illustration, so he goes down the chimney, but they were ready for him, and they had a pot of boiling water
That's
that he
right.
lands in, and he dies.
Oh gosh, there's
See,
death
that-
everywhere in this
Yeah,
story.
no, but
Yeah,
but that's kind of like she had half death in there, like the pigs don't, but he dies. Yeah, in my version, he did die, but so did the pigs.
Yeah, but
other
in my
than the-
version, only the bad guy dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Anyway. Okay. So
I
back
like-
to the
I
thought.
like Case.
Okay.
Okay,
anyway.
so when it comes to passion for God or character,
Mm-hmm.
compassion for others, hardworking, and wisdom, when you look back at 20 years for you, for us, almost 29
Mm-hmm.
years, what foundations have helped us in hard seasons? There's going to be hard seasons in a
Yeah.
marriage.
Definitely.
And I hope that the married couples listening hear that from us, because sometimes people go in thinking if there's a hard season that maybe that meant it wasn't right. No, because it's right, there's going to be a hard season.
That's right.
God's going to actually use the hard season to grow you closer together.
Yeah.
So which of those when we've had challenging seasons have been most helpful?
I want to say this first. I want to say that sometimes I think we think if I'm walking with God, I'm spending time with Him, I'm not gonna. Everything's gonna go perfectly. That isn't the case. The most challenging seasons that I can remember are this is going to sound crazy. I feel like God pulled me close to prepare me for the season, right? So the first one you talked about was having high character. Is that the way you put it?
Yeah, or passion for God, character among others.
Yeah, I think to me, like the passion for God, I mean, that one, you keeping me accountable to that. I would say even in hard times for that one, one thing that Eric, that I think was a big struggle for me when we got married, I didn't really understand grace I'd been a really good kid. So I had trouble understanding. I knew grace for salvation, but I didn't understand grace for everyday living. I thought I could just be good. And I've told this story before, but very early on in our marriage, we had an argument. I don't remember what it was about. And we were both really stubborn. And I said, Eric, I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong. And Eric goes, you can't possibly believe that. And I said, I do believe that. And I still remember what he said. He goes, we've got bigger problems. And I was like, and so that was
a good response.
it was a really good
Like,
response.
wow.
But I think that you showed me such a great measure of grace, which I'm going to say that's passion for God, because your passion for God was bigger than my mistakes. Like your passion to help me grow was bigger than, which only comes when you're passionate for God. But I want to hit on the integrity too, because I think, especially maybe in ministry, that one's so important. And me just believing that, like if someone said, Eric said something bad about you, blah, 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 I would never believe it. Like I would be like, that you are flat out lying. That did not happen.
Right.
Like I just know your integrity.
Right.
Yeah. What would you say?
I mean, all of those I see in you and have helped me 29 years of marriage. I think the one I've grown in the most being married to you has been the compassion for others. When you were getting your master's in psychology, you came home one night and said, you learned that everyone's behavior makes sense to them.
Yeah.
And so, there's hurtful things and damaging things that can happen when you're a leader. Yeah. Sometimes people say it's only in ministry, and it does happen to us pastors, but when I was a leader in the marketplace, the same kind of thing would happen. You can have just painful things that are said to you or trials, and you've helped me humanize the people who the best way to, in my sinfulness, to deal with hurt is to like villainize that person, as opposed to humanize the person and see that they're, what they said, even if it's deeply wrong, is coming from a place of hurt,
Definitely.
And you helped me with that.
I still want to beat him up sometimes, but yeah.
Maybe I've swung towards. Sometimes I think I might be more compassionate than you at times now.
No, yeah, maybe.
Like I stole all your compassion.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I just like gave it all to you, and now I'm like short or something. I don't know. That's good.
All right. So the sermon ends by saying Jesus is the one who helps us in all these areas.
Yeah.
He grows our character, our compassion, our wisdom, work ethic. How has he grown you through your marriage? So how are you a stronger Christian because of being married to Kim? And how are you, Kim, a stronger Christian because of being married to Jared? How's the marriage been the means of grace in your life?
What you got?
I think that one of the main components to our marriage has been great communication. I think that we've always been really good at communicating with each other. And I think that's gotten us a long ways, I think that compromise is also a big one for us. Just meeting his needs and what, like, I think a lot of like love languages, like it's always changing. Like the longer you're in a marriage, it's going to be changing. And so his has changed. And I know like right now his is words of affirmation.
What was it before?
Maybe physical touch.
And we're referring to, if you're unfamiliar, there was a book by Gary Chapman called The 5 Love Languages.
Yeah.
And essentially you have one of 5 that you like to give and receive. So
I have all 5.
No, I'm going to speak about that in a moment because she says that every time.
I do. I do.
Words of affirmation,
Yep.
acts of service, physical touch, time, and gifts.
Yes.
And so according to the book, Gary Chapman says you want to figure out the language of your spouse. So if you are only using your love language, you could like be speaking French when your spouse is speaking Spanish. So you want to learn your spouse's love language and express love in that way. It's actually a helpful tool.
It is really helpful.
And it's a good conversation for a married couple to have. Like, which one is most valuable to you? Kay always says she has all 5, which is daunting. It's a lot of pressure. And so,
or
what's the number one?
It's very easy because you just pick one.
Just pick one anytime.
Thank you, Jared.
always-
Thank you.
you
That has been my point for
So-
years.
You have 5 choices.
And they're all correct.
She would tell me that she got all 5. And so one day, I think I had just known the framework. I hadn't actually read the book. One day I read the book. And I was so liberated because Gary Chapman says in the book, and I quote, maybe this isn't word for word, but this is essentially what he said. If you have a hard time knowing which is yours, it's because your love tank is so full.
Oh.
You can't discern.
You're full.
And so I said, baby, please say more of that. Please say you have all 5. You're only affirming my awesomeness. You're only saying that I have filled your tank so full that you can't even tell. You don't even know where there's a gap.
That's amazing.
I mean, maybe it's true. I don't know.
So yours currently is words of affirmation.
I think, yeah. So mine has been probably historically the words of affirmation being the one that has been consistent all the way through, depending on the season.
Season
Yeah,
of life.
it seems like there's times where the physical touch, just like a moment on the couch, just like a reassuring.
so it's not only
someone's
it's not
with
only
me.
sex.
No, beyond that.
A scratch on the back.
Yeah, it is. It's just putting a hand on, and there's this subtle reminder of like, I'm with you. I'm in this with you.
Yeah.
Like whatever the thing is, as we all have been through lots of stuff. That one, words of affirmation, has been something that I think helps remind me of what not only my spouse sees in me, but also God and perhaps even others. Like that's very bolstering up of confidence. But in low moments, physical touch has become one where it feels like I just need to be reminded. Like,
Yeah.
And what's
I have
Kim's?
someone with me. Quality time.
Yeah.
I mean, she's unwavering in that one. So
It's been that for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he takes me on vacation, he's scoring some points.
And your tank is filled for how long?
she's planning the next vacation.
Yeah, when I'm on
a
that
current
vacation, I'm planning the
You're
next
doing
one. So
VRBO.
that
Oh
my
is
gosh,
the
that's
tank
amazing.
Stays filled.
I think yours is quality time too.
Mine is time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think mine is really?
Time. No, I'm joking.
But even just like, it doesn't have to be vacation. It's going to dinner, like just the two of us, not being distracted with
Yeah,
the
same.
Yeah.
kids there, like
a great dinner out for us is awesome.
yes.
I think for us, what has been so important in our marriage is the idea of just staying connected. And that happens through good communication. It happens through taking some time away. We probably have 2 weekends a year where we go away, just the two of us, a couple of nights. We have regular date nights. Our kids are finally at the age where we can leave them at
Yes,
home,
isn't
which
that
is
nice?
amazing. So
Yeah.
it makes scheduling less
Oh, it's a
complicated.
game changer when that
Yeah.
happens.
It's huge. It's huge. But even throughout the day, we'll text every day. It's a text throughout the day of just, how's it going? What's going on? It might be about the plan
Yeah.
for the rest of the afternoon, or
Even just going over
how-
calendars.
That's right.
Like, I think just staying in communication
That's
is
great.
huge. Because,
Communication is huge. You're
Yeah.
right.
The overnight, like, a couple weekend or a couple one night or 2 nights a year. Kay and I found that, gosh, maybe, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, that is a hack for us in
Yeah.
a good way. Like,
Yeah.
we do a vacation, but now in this season with the kids, a couple of times a year, just having, 1 night or 2 night away with each other is great.
Yeah, we really like that. Yeah. Yeah. You
I mean,
wanna
it's
say more
hard.
about
It's
that?
hard because I preach on the weekends, but
Yeah, it can
But,
be a little challenge, but we can make it work.
yeah, we can make it work.
Yeah.
Like a Monday, Tuesday sometimes. Yeah.
I do think communication is big, and Kim, I'm glad you brought that up. I think we've historically been really good communicators as well, but I think.
Oh gosh, Kay, we've always. I mean, we're both communicators, so the
that's true.
The water under the bridge, whatever that illustration is, like there's no water. I mean, there's no.
Well, you sound like Jorge right now. What are you
I
trying
can't
to
imagine.
say?
I can't imagine though that there are times where you guys are trying to figure out what do you mean by what you're saying right now.
But what I'm
What do
saying.
you mean?
What I'm saying is, if you're frustrated, you tell me, and if I'm, it's never held in.
Never held in.
Never
oh,
held
that's
in.
Kim too. She
Yeah.
doesn't hide anything.
I don't. I'm
It's-
kind of an open book.
It's never.
Yeah, me
held
too.
in.
Yeah.
How long do you hold it in, Jared?
Decades.
No, I don't
Dude, that's-
believe that.
'cause that's
Really?
healthy.
Wait, Jared, really?
Because that's
few things.
really good.
No.
Because that's
Hold
really
on.
good for the soul.
I got a few things. No, I don't. None of this stuff is anything that I hold. I just know how Kim is feeling with certainty at all times.
That's same. Kay's
Wouldn't
the
you
same.
agree?
100%.
That's a gift, you guys. Y'all should say thank
totally.
you right now.
Most
That's
of
like
the time
such a
it's
gift.
Most of the
There
time.
was one time recently where one of our kids was like, this has been actually been a few years ago because I don't want to make them sound bad because it was several years ago, and one of our kids was just really upset about something. I can't remember what it was. And we were in the kitchen. Eric goes, Abby, oh shoot, I just said her name. He said, just go upstairs. And she was upstairs, and we could still hear her. She was so upset. And I said, what are we gonna do now? And he was like, just give her time. She'll calm down. And I said, how do you know? And he just stared at me. And I went, oh, is that what you do to me? And he goes, I try, but you follow me around the house. And I was like, oh, shoot. But it's true. I don't like to hold anything in. But I don't ever have a root of bitterness either.
That's true.
Yeah.
There is an advantage to just letting it out.
Yep.
I mean, but I think you can only have I think the best communication comes when you are totally, I'm back to my favorite word, when you know you're totally committed.
Yeah,
Like,
you're not having to guard your words. You're
You
just being
can't be
honest.
fully honest.
Yeah.
Like which makes you trustworthy. I think is verse 2 or 3 in that passage, trustworthy. You can't be fully trustworthy unless you're fully honest, and you can't be fully honest unless you're fully committed.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's-
you're so right. It's about the stakes.
Yeah.
If we're concerned that on the line is our marriage,
Yeah.
we're going to be really cautious.
Yeah,
about,
that's
about
different.
how we
The
interact.
language at that point is different
Exactly.
than syncing up calendars or like, hey, you bothered me by how short you were on that text message
That's
or
right.
something. That's very. You could just have the convo.
Exactly.
I'm really good at dinner date nights, just going, I have something to talk to you about.
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
You do that on dinner date nights.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
If I got something on my chest I want to get off.
And usually I'm like, give me a quick preview.
But
What
see,
am
I like
walking
it though
into?
because it's healthy.
Are,
Like,
are you able to say like,
it's
hey,
not me
let's,
like holding it in.
That's
I'm
right.
I
letting
like
him
that.
know right away. You
Let's
know,
finish
like,
it by the
this
appetizer then?
this is bugging me. Yeah,
let's finish it early in the
But
date.
then do
so
you
we can-
say it and then you're done?
No, we discuss it, and we typically can like walk away.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, like
Yeah, she doesn't ruminate on it.
we
doesn't
don't
get stuck
leave. We don't leave
forever.
angry. Like
Great.
we figure it out.
Then that's a great dinner.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
master
Yeah, but-
negotiator, so all things are good.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, let's go to some questions from
Yeah,
from people.
definitely.
We have these mailboxes set up at all of our congregations, and folks from every congregation have been dropping some questions in. So I know we have some
We do.
to go after here.
Yeah, let me read this one from Huntington Beach. I think this is a little, we're going to have to work on this one because it's been a little while for us, but I think we'll have something to say. She says, so how do me and my husband handle disagreements over how we're raising our 2 toddlers? Also, how do we remain loving and patient with each other when we're both so overwhelmed by the kids? These are 1 and 2-year-olds. And she says, we're on the edge.
Yeah, I would say, and I've told other people, I mean, I know, I remember this, even though ours are 17 and 15 now, but I've said for a long time, the age that her children are now, that was the toughest season
Yep.
for us.
Us too.
I loved it. Like I loved the age, but it was tough.
So I remember when the first 3 months of Evie, Eden at this point's 2. So,
barely
Yeah,
too.
barely 2. I remember it just thinking, is this the rest of our life?
Yep.
It was so overwhelming. And so I understand the heartbeat behind this question. So I would say you're in the hardest place right now. And let the gift of the hardest place be that you press closer to God and closer to each other.
Yeah.
And you're going to get through this. You are going to get through this. And then you're going to here's the beautiful thing. You're going to look back, and then really the memories you have, even though we're saying that it was challenging, are so beautiful.
They're so beautiful.
And then you'll end up missing.
Yep.
Yes,
Like
that's the weirdest thing.
I miss that when they would lay on me at night. Like I totally miss those. I miss getting up in the middle of the night and feeding them with a bottle. You know,
Not me. I do
miss
not
that,
miss
yeah.
that part.
No, it was so special. But in the middle of it, it was really
hard.
it was really overwhelming.
I think maybe the second part of the question's more like the real heart of
Yeah,
it though.
loving and patient with each other when we're both so overwhelmed.
Yeah, because I think when you're loving and patient with each other, then there's less disagreements about how you're raising your kids because you tend to respect each other's opinions.
That's good.
So I think what I would say here is, even though it's really hard, focus on your marriage.
Yeah.
Like have that once a week date night. You know,
Yeah.
focus on your marriage, and instead of seeing him as your enemy, see him or her as your ally. You know, we are on the same team here. I would say we had quite a bit of conversations about parenting, probably before we had kids, but I think parenting's a big deal, especially if you were raised 2 different ways.
I
which
remember.
we weren't so much.
I remember this stage. All of a sudden, going on a date with you was really expensive because we would have to have a babysitter.
Yep.
Yep.
And so, just one thing that we did, and because we didn't have a lot of money, I mean, we're in Miami. It was really expensive where we were, and you weren't working at this time.
I was teaching college, but very part time.
Very part time. I was working, and we have good friends that we rotated date nights every other week.
Yep.
And so what Kay would do is she would go spend the evening at those people's home, so that
dinner and
she
everything.
would make it super easy for them. You'd bring dinner,
You take
and
bathe their kids,
you
everything.
would put their kids to bed, as
Yeah.
opposed to
Yeah.
the kids coming to our home. You would go to their home, and then she would do that for you the next week.
Yeah.
And then
That's good.
So every other week we had a free
we
day.
had,
Good.
so it was
And then we would have a home date the opposite.
and then we'd have a
Yeah.
home
Yeah.
date the opposite.
Yeah.
So just I would say to this couple, you're going to get through this. I agree with Kay completely. Your marriage is being most important is really the best parenting, because you're giving your kids a picture of stability. You want your kids to sense that my mom and dad love each other and they're deeply committed to each other. You're given a picture of the gospel of two people becoming one. Your marriage is the best way that you parent. And so put a priority in your marriage. The conversations, the question also had some disagreements. That's when you have those combos over the date nights.
That's right.
And don't have them while you're not liking each other to start with. They're 1 and 2. They're going to be fine. Get your marriage back on track and then have the conversations. And one other thing, Eric, I know you're going to agree with this. We put our kids to bed really early. Like, it was a commitment we made. And I will say that we tell people all the time that it gave us our marriage back.
Yeah.
There's
different parenting. I remember, and I want to be gracious because people have different viewpoints. I think they're like, some was attachment parenting where the kid's always with you, and then some was like the sleep. You were big on healthy sleep habits.
Yeah.
That was the book, right? Healthy sleep habits.
Healthy sleep habits, happy child. Yeah.
And Kay was so big on this. I wouldn't say it's like a first level conviction, but she really does believe.
Pretty close.
She would like. They would be
not in bed with you?
No,
the kids were never in bed with us. She would talk to other young moms and like, I'm going to train you on how to get your kid to bed.
It just gave us so much time back.
No, it's true though.
Like, I cared about our relationship,
Yeah,
anyway,
and so the kids.
But there are different opinions.
They were in bed early. Yeah. So
same to you guys. These ages were a nightmare for us.
Yeah.
Our youngest had colic.
Yep.
And so
Yeah.
that
And
was
the oldest had acid reflux. So there was like
Perfect.
constant spit up and crying. And that's having one kid spitting up on you and the other one screaming is not the time to try to have a conversation.
No way.
That's not when you go, how can I love you better? Like, what do we need? It's crisis mode,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm preparing this talk for that first intentional parenting gathering, and the framework that I'll use first is Genesis 2:15, work in and on, right? So
perfect.
Watch over,
Yeah.
and then work into the garden, right?
That's excellent.
the
Yeah, that's
command.
really good.
So
That's a great
setting
framework.
aside time to say this is the time where we're going to work on our marriage and on the values and the rhythms of our family, and then we're going to get into it together.
That's
so when
great.
you have a plan, but you have to separate those two things.
That's great. That's great wisdom.
That's really good.
All right, let's go to question 2.
Okay, so from Santa Ana, tips on how to love my spouse more intentionally.
It's great. Think about how God has loved you intentionally. And so what you want to do is pursue your spouse the way God has pursued you. So he pursued you by serving you. So look for ways to serve your spouse. We talked a little bit earlier about love languages. That's actually a really good.
It actually
Yeah.
is really
It's
good.
a helpful
Well,
framework.
yeah.
If you don't know theirs, you should find out.
Find out. It's more of a conversation. Like, when do you feel most loved? Is it time, touch, service,
Gifts.
or encouraging words, words of affirmation?
Sounded like gifts just edged out the others.
might
in
be
that.
number one now.
It's fine if she wants.
This
My
season of
life
life.
would be easier if she would just declare one. If she would declare one,
I disagree.
we'd be in great shape. But to have the convo with your spouse on which one matters the most to you in this season, and then match your approach to your spouse.
Yeah, I think about it as, do you know their needs? And then do you know what they want the future to look like? Like, do you have a sense of what the future is going to become? I know for Kim, experiences and creating moments of celebration and being able to do special things with the kids, like, that's really important to her. And so, when she sends me this text message that says, hey, did you know that Disneyland passes are going to open up again on whatever day it was? I knew in that moment we're gonna have Disneyland.
So I'm proud of you for knowing, because some dudes may have missed that. Like there's some clues that our wives sent us that, come on, guys.
Yeah, but it's not just
we can read it.
so
It's not
good.
just
That's so good.
knowing what the text message says. It's knowing this is not just about
Yeah.
wanting to be at Disneyland. It's connected to these
Time
are
with
the
you.
experiences that we've had, time together on Fridays on the day
Yeah.
off, or taking kids out of school one day a year, whatever it is.
And I think that's great that you do that,
Yeah,
Kim.
me too.
Kay does that too. Sometimes I've heard women, especially like, say the husband has a really stressful job. And I know ideally I want to be a guy who pursues my wife. But sometimes the role that I'm in can be so, like, there can be a week that just shatters. You're just,
I have no idea what you're talking
you're
about.
just thinking like you're just overwhelmed all the time.
Yes.
And yet it doesn't mean my marriage is less important. It's like, I haven't even answered this text message yet or
Right.
this email yet. And oh my gosh, I'm walking into this meeting. And so Kay will sometimes send a text message like, hey, went ahead and made reservations for dinner tonight. or tomorrow night. And she doesn't make me feel like a loser, with that. Like,
But
like,
vice
hey,
versa.
Hey, since you don't do it,
Yeah, right.
not that.
Yeah.
Because the goal is just getting us together.
Yeah.
And I love when she does that.
It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you've done the same for me, like in
Totally.
the hard times. Yeah, I think it is true. Like you have to know how the person feels most loved, and it's not always the way you feel most loved.
Right.
So I
Right.
think that's a good answer.
Yeah.
All right, you want to hit one more and
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up?
Yeah, so let's hit one last question. And this is kind of a heavier one, but it's someone from our Irvine congregation that says, so how do I move forward in my marriage when my partner and I are going through a rough patch? I'm going through therapy, and they said they're going to do it on their own time.
I love that the person's asking the question, and I love that the person cares. I mean, it shows that the person's valuing marriage and wants the marriage to be healthy, and wants the marriage to be a beautiful picture of God and people for the community or their kids if they have kids. So ideally, you're in community with other people and your spouse, whether that's the therapy or a group of people around. If your spouse is saying they're not going to therapy, obviously you can't force the person into the office. So I would say, hey, what would you be willing to do? What could we do together? I want to do something with you. What would make you feel the most comfortable? Could we share this with a couple of friends that you trust? Who would you want to share this with? Or is there, if you don't trust the therapist that I've gone to, do you want to find someone that you would trust and I go with you? Sometimes people I find will put up walls because they just feel as if they're going to be attacked, or they just feel untrusting to be vulnerable. And so I would just try to have a conversation on what would be best for you. I want to do this with you, and I'll go to wherever you want to go in terms of the person to talk to or some friends in our lives. But let's not keep this. I don't want to do this without you. Let's not keep this separate. Let's do this together.
I think also, so how do I move forward with my partner and I going through a patch? I think what came to my mind, the first thing that came to my mind was that, and it's not talking about, it's talking about Christ in the church, but in Revelation, do the things you did at first. We talked about this before.
Yep.
Think about the things that you did when you were first falling in love.
Yep.
Falling in love.
Not falling in love. When you first pursuing each other.
And yeah, okay. Anyway, and so
You don't like that part of the sermon?
I mean, I think I totally fell in love with you.
You did not fall in love.
I was a victim of love.
You did not fall.
What about when I said to you, when you told me you love me for the first time, I said I love you too? That I didn't like.
You didn't fall. You committed. You chose. You.
So I remember when I chose to love you.
Or you.
Jared and I are going to just.
Or you responded.
How
You
does it make you
responded to my
feel,
pursuit. You responded to my
anyway, but-
amazing skills.
Okay, listen, we I love you. Okay.
I love you, baby.
Okay, fine. Okay.
All right.
So I think you think about the things you did at first. Like what things made him feel loved at first? Like what
Yes.
did you do in the beginning of your relationship that made him feel loved?
Rubbed my feet.
Yep. I did a lot of feet rubbing and
Getting real personal.
Wait a minute.
I love
And
it.
getting rid of the athlete
Careful,
foot.
careful.
Athlete's foot. It was athlete's foot.
Oh
guys.
my gosh.
I
He was
had-
like, I
from
love
the
when you
dorm
rub my
room.
foot. And I was
I had
like,
the worst.
oh.
It was so bad. It was disgusting. It was so bad. She
Still
healed me.
is.
I
It's
got-
not past
wait a minute.
tense. That's gross
Wait
now.
a minute. So I got rid. He wanted me to rub his
She
feet,
got
and I
rid
was
of it
like,
for
"Well,
me,
first
guys.
we have to get rid of the athlete's foot."
And she did.
And I
She
did.
healed me.
It's a spray.
No.
No,
It was so bad.
no.
Is this before marriage or after?
After,
Okay.
yeah, right?
Wait a
No,
second.
maybe
Dorm
no, maybe
rooms and
before.
I think this
After?
was after engagement.
Yeah. That's probably right.
I think
That's
this
probably
was
right.
after
Listen,
engagement.
it was the
pre-marriage.
worst athlete's foot you've ever seen. Like,
so bad.
like
Like, all my-
next level. Like, how long has this been here? Like 10 years? I mean, it was.
My toes are all cracked
Oh, it
up.
was so
It
bad.
was so bad.
Okay. Anyway, so remember the
But
things
you healed me.
the things you out. So first of all, I would think back to the things you did at first. I'd focus on those things, and then second of all, because what she's asking here is, what can she do when they're in a rough patch? So, I would just remind yourself of the commitment and do the things you did at first. And one thing I've prayed over the years, just like even in small patches, like I'll just pray, God, will you just give us a desire for each other in every way?
Yeah.
Like, and he always answers that prayer. Like, give me a desire for him, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, give us a desire for
I
each
like
other.
it. I like it when you pray that.
Oh my gosh.
And I think also like she can come at it as with grace and love, because if you come at it attacking, that's not going to help at all. Like, he's just going to shut down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that do the things you did at first. Don't wait to be pursued. Pursue, initiate. Say, hey, what would be best for you? Let's get some people around us.
Last thing I'd say is just, not all therapy is great therapy.
Right.
And I think there is something to be said. We had that resource
We
that
have a
we
guide
created
that can
from
help you.
on the
Yeah.
table that was very helpful. And just finding a therapist that's actually going to help you move forward.
Yes.
You don't want to get stuck in a loop with a therapist who's just helping you be stronger in your own convictions against your marriage. I mean, that can be really dangerous, right? So finding someone that's solutions-based and is really going to help you lean into healthier marriage practices.
Yeah, and
things
a
like
therapist
that.
has a high view of marriage.
That's right.
Yeah. Guys, everybody, thank you so much for joining us for the If I Had More Time podcast. Next week on the pod, after the relationship message, we're going to have Roddy and Liz Garcia. So you guys have been married for 20 years. Next week, you're going to hear from a young couple who's been married for less than 2.
Yeah.
So
They're coming up on 2 in November, I think.
it's going to be awesome.
Kirkwood, you were so amazing and so fun, and we love being with you.
I can't stop thinking about that athlete's foot. I'm sorry. But thank you for having us.
Thanks, everybody.